Before time learned to measure itself, before the first shadow fell upon the newborn earth, silence stretched across creation like an untouched sea. Then a voice broke it, ancient and sovereign. It was the voice that summoned light from nothing, the voice that mountains would someday fear, the voice angels bowed themselves before. And into that eternal stillness, the Creator spoke. It is not good that the man should be alone. The words trembled through the heavens, stirring the wind, stirring the watchers, and stirring the earth beneath the feet of the first-formed being. Adam, the man of dust, shaped by the very hands that forged stars, lay asleep under the vast canopy of the first sky, unaware that destiny was bending around him. The Creator's presence hovered over him like a sunrise. A deep sleep, unlike any slumber that would ever fall upon mankind again, washed over Adam. It was weightless yet consuming, a descent into a place untouched by dreaming. His chest rose and fell with the ease of one held by the very one who willed his existence. Then, towards Adam's ribs, the Creator reached. One rib he drew forth, glowing with a purity untouched by corruption. And in his hands, it reshaped itself. He formed her. The woman. Her being flowed from the rib like flame shaped into form, and the sovereign artist sculpted her with intention older than the world itself. Grace wrapped her like clothing. Wisdom shimmered in her eyes before they ever opened. She was new yet ancient in essence. Born of man, crafted by the Creator. When she stood complete, the garden seemed to brighten as though creation itself recognized its newest wonder. Then Adam stirred. He awoke with a breath that echoed across the sixth day, rising slowly, blinking at the softness of the new light. When his gaze fell upon the woman, his heart knew a truth that language itself had never yet carried. He spoke the first human poetry. This is bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. And thus began the union of man and woman, destined to become one flesh. And from that moment the heavenly tablets recorded a command that would shape generations, that man and wife would cleave to one another. 40 days after Adam's creation, he was brought into the Garden of Eden, the garden made for glory, a sanctuary, overflowing with sanctity. Rivers sparkled like liquid silver. Fruit glowed with the freshness of perfection. The air itself hummed with divine peace. The woman, however, was brought in on the 80th day. For Eden was holier than any place on earth, and purity was demanded at its gates. And so, the commandment was written that every mother who bore a child would wait her days of cleansing before touching anything holy or entering the temple. 40 for a male, and 80 for a female. These decrees echoed through generations, but their shadow first fell upon the parents of all humanity. Adam and his wife walked Eden for 7 full years, tilling and keeping its perfection as they had been instructed by angels. Work was joy, not burden. The ground responded eagerly beneath Adam's hands, bursting with life. They were naked, yet unashamed, clothed in innocence deeper than any garment. Adam guarded the garden from the birds, the beasts, and all creeping things. They understood him then. All creatures spoke a single tongue. Fruit was gathered each day, sweet, radiant, and abundant. He set aside a portion for him and his wife, and left the rest to the garden's endless renewal. Peace reigned. They knew no sorrow, no fear, and no shame. Eden thrived beneath their care. But time, even in paradise, moves forward. At the very end of the 7th year of creation, precisely 7 years were completed in the garden. On the 17th day of the 2nd month that year, the serpent glided into the woman's path. Not a mere snake of the field, but a creature bearing intellect and speech, cunning and intent. its eyes gleaming with a knowledge not meant for this place. And with a voice smooth as polished stone, the serpent asked the woman what the Creator had said about the trees. Standing tall in innocence, she replied saying, "We may eat of all the fruit of the trees, but of the fruit of the tree in the midst of the garden, the Creator said we should neither eat it nor touch it." A soft hiss escaped the serpent, almost a laugh. And he said, "You might want to give it a try. For the Creator knows that in the day you eat it, your eyes will be opened, and you will become gods, knowing good and evil." A whisper that slid into her thoughts like a seed. She turned toward the tree, its fruit gleaming like gold under new sunlight, vibrant, enticing, ancient secrets coiled within its flesh. The longer she gazed, the more her desire deepened. And so, with a trembling hand, she reached, plucked, and ate. In that instant, a shock of awareness, sharp as lightning, rippled through her soul. A knowing, heavy and unfamiliar, wrapped her mind. Shame pierced her, a sensation no human had ever felt. Then she sought Adam, and gave the fruit to him. Adam ate, and the world trembled. His eyes opened, not to enlightenment but to the cold sudden burden of knowledge. He looked at himself, and knew shame, knew nakedness, knew fear. Two souls once clothed in innocence, now clothed in regret. They sewed leaves into aprons, and covered themselves. Silence fell, a silence Eden had never known. The Creator came. His presence rolled through Eden like a storm withheld, a weight that made the trees themselves bow. The serpent trembled. The woman's heart pounded. Adam felt the earth shrink beneath him. And the Creator declared judgment. The serpent was cursed forever, bound to crawling, and despised by all creation. The woman's sorrow was multiplied, pain in childbirth, and her longing bound to her husband, who would rule over her. And Adam? The ground itself would now resist him. Thorns, sweat, and struggle. And finally, the sentence of mortality. From dust he came, and to dust he should return. Yet even in judgment, mercy lingered. The Creator made coats of skin and clothed them, and he sent them out of the garden. On the day of his exile, Adam offered his first sacrifice. Frankincense and spices, a sweet flavor rising with the morning sun, marking the moment his shame was covered, and his life outside paradise began. Then something wondrous and terrible happened. The mouths of all beasts were shut. No longer would animals speak with one tongue. No longer would creation share a single language. Beasts fled, each according to its kind, scattered across the world prepared for them. And Adam alone was given the privilege of covering his shame, a sacred duty withheld from all other creatures. For this reason, the heavenly tablets decreed that all who knew the Torah's judgment should cover themselves, not unveiling their nakedness like the Gentile nations. So, Adam and his wife left the garden forever. The gate closed behind them. The cherubim took watch. The flame of the turning sword guarded the tree they had once walked past freely. They journeyed into the land of Elder, the land of their creation, and dwelt there. Years passed. They had no son until the first Jubilee. Adam tilled the land as he had been taught in paradise by angels. But now, the earth resisted him. Sweat dripped from his brow. Stones broke his rhythm. Thorns pierced his hands and feet. Yet Adam endured. He worked not for the ease of paradise, but for survival. Still, somewhere in the distance, Eden lingered like a memory. A forbidden jewel guarded by fire, a reminder of what was, and what was lost.